And there is a glass encasing there that's actually holding the thermometer. So when you are reading this, please try not to lift this up and drop the thermometer because that's how it's been breaking open. Alright, so this library condenser, what it's going to do is you're constantly boiling here throughout the experiment. So this will condense your vapors back down into the water chamber, run water plant. Because what we want to do is keep this dry during the experiment because this is supposed to be a gas chamber, not a liquid chamber. Okay, this is your atmosphere, and keep that in mind. Right? So when we're boiling, we want to keep the boiling here, and this condenser keeps all of the liquid in the liquid side. Yeah. So that's there, this condenser is here. The water needs to be running all the time. Okay? Because if this is going to overboil and water will come back into the gas chamber, you will stop your experiment and you will start all over again from the beginning. Okay? Alright. So condenser is connected to this boiling run flask, and you have this dry chamber. The dry chamber is connected to the vacuum tap where we will reduce the pressure. We just open the tap, suck out the air. And it's also connected to this. Here, this is a manometer. It's simply just going to allow us to read the pressure. It's a gauge for pressure. So you turn it on, and what it will display is the pressure difference. So for example, if it's reading 400 or 300, that means that the pressure inside this chamber is 300 less than the atmosphere. So atmosphere is normally like what, 760 mmHg. So that means if the screen says 300, this is 760 minus 300. Okay? So we're going all the way down in pressure. And then as you do the experiment, you will bring that 300 closer to 760. So it will be 300, 280, 260, and then back to 760. Back to atmosphere. Is that okay? Alright, let's keep going. In number 2, it says open the stopper B. This is stopper B here. This is where you're supposed to make changes to your pressure. So initially when you start, it's all closed, right? You are having a fixed pressure. This is where you will slowly sort of release air or sort of bring in air to bring the pressure back to atmosphere, little by little. So you have to be very careful with shifting this throughout the experiment. Okay? So it says in that same step, heat the water in flask D, allow it to boil for some time. This is your flask D. During this period in time, the air in the system is gradually replaced by water vapor. Okay? So you will start off boiling first, initially at the original atmospheric, then you will close it up, and then back down to the reduced pressure, and then bring it back to you. Okay? Have you guys read this before coming? Okay. Alright. So what you want to do is just keep monitoring the pressure and, changing the pressure, note this down and note down the pressure. Okay? Alright. We're going to make one change to step number 5. So when you're starting to heat, you will heat this, and like I said, record the temperature, record the pressure. Now in the instructions it says, okay, now not step number 5. Step number step number 5 actually. It says bring the heating mantle up and heat the flask again for the water to boil gently at 2 to 3 minutes. So this is when you'll be boiling it again at the pressure that you said. And then it says note down all that blah blah blah. And then in number 6 it says carefully open stopper B and then repeat step 5. When you're repeating step 5, you're not going to be moving this mantle up and down, right? You just leave the mantle there and you continue heating throughout the experiment. Because as you heat it, the temperature will go up again. Okay? Because we will start at a very low pressure. We'll start at a very reduced pressure. So the temperature will start low. And then as you bring it back to atmosphere, it will increase anyway. So there's no use lifting this up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay? because you'll be making yourself take more time. Because it will go cool down, heat up again, cool down, heat up again. Is that okay? As you proceed throughout the experiment, just keep this one on like a medium heat so that it will just consistently heat throughout the experiment. Okay? Another thing to note also is while you're actually recording the boiling temperature, it will appear that it's bubbling a lot of the time, which is what we want. It should be boiling. But as you change the pressure, you need to make sure that this one boils for a few minutes before you actually take the temperature. Because if you look inside your flask D, you can see that you have the liquid. This thermometer here is not in the liquid, right? It's in the glass that is above the liquid. So the gas above here has to heat the glass and then heat the thermometer. So it has to take some time to actually read that temperature. Okay? So when you're boiling it, just make sure you boil it for about 2 minutes, then you record the temperature. And then you can proceed to the next question. You're going step by step to do that. Is that okay? Yeah? Alright. Any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, what I want you to do first is just get to your setup, get in your bed, just have a look at everything first, get yourself familiar with everything. Okay? Ask your questions and then we will